Welcome to episode 44 of the Mile 20 podcast where epic shit happens. My name is Lori and I'm here with my bestie,
Laura.
We're coming to you from the hot box today.
Yay.
Again, yay, but via Zoom because we will be interviewing two running influencers that we happen to see in passing at the Philadelphia Marathon. Emma and Kayla.
Yeah.
They're two runners from Connecticut, part of a running group of H2Go. And we're going to be just talking all things about running influencing and running coaching and running groups and running.
We're running.
We're going to be running today.
So epic week update. I mean, we're drinking water this week.
Yeah. Liver needs a break after Thanksgiving and Philly Marathon weekend.
Yes, this is very true. So what you been up to the past couple of days?
It feels like quite a bit because it was Thanksgiving.
Yes.
So there was just a lot going on with Thanksgiving. We had Maggie and DJ were both with their significant others for the holidays.
Yeah, Maddie's with hers as well.
Yeah, so we didn't really see them on Thanksgiving, but we went to my dad and stepmom's and with Ella, and that was nice, and spent time with the family, which is always great. And then we did on Friday. We'll share Friday because that was kind of a parallel universe because we were together. And then Saturday we do second Thanksgiving because we always go to my
one's not enough.
Well, because
I get it. No,
we go to my dad's and it's potluck and we never come home with turkey. We have a little bit of stuffing, but like no mashed potatoes, and we like leftovers. So
it's clutch.
We started doing second Thanksgiving when we moved here. So second Thanksgiving was Saturday.
You're like hobbits.
Yes, which Maggie and Connor were back in time. And then DJ and Mari, their flight was delayed, but they wound up making it. And so we ate at like 8:30 at night, but we all sat down and had second Thanksgiving together. So it was
turkey in the belly at 8 o'clock at night. Yeah. That's just
Yeah, but the tryptophan hits just right.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You just go to bed at that point. But like we decorated the Christmas tree. And then Sunday, my family has a tradition, which we could not participate in this year because of the kids. But our family has a tree cutting competition.
I love this.
And all that we go out to a little farm, local farm here. And that each family picks out a tree. And then we time the guys cutting the tree. And then we measure the area
the girth of the tree,
of the stump. And then we come up with the calculation as to who cut the fastest.
Yeah, it blew me away when you were saying that like one of your brothers cut it in was like 7 seconds or something like that. 9 seconds.
Cut was nine seconds.
9 seconds. That's insane.
Yeah.
That is, I thought you were going to tell me like 2 minutes or something like that, but like 9 seconds is just
No, Dave
insane.
was the slowest at 40 seconds.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy.
Yeah. But it's a lovely family weekend.
Yeah, and then we hung out yesterday afternoon with our girls, Mary Beth and Julie.
Yep.
And a little bit of girl shopping and had some appies and some drinks together and stuff. So that was really, really awesome.
That was
just
fun.
Getting some girlfriend time in.
Yes.
When Maddie joined us too, which was super nice. My weekend kind of parallels yours. I did see Wicked though, so I added that into the mix like right before Thanksgiving. And sorry, I have like a rogue hair in my mouth. There we go, got it. And so saw Wicked, and then I hosted Thanksgiving with Jim, and that was our 24th year. We figured out that we've been hosting Thanksgiving straight up.
Nice.
So it was very, very low key. Loved it. We had a small group this year, and then Friday we'll share because Friday was the debacle.
It was not Friday, that's for sure.
It was not Friday.
Thanks, Philadelphia Eagles,
for the Eagles
on my parade.
Freaking shit the bed, and then they rolled in it, and so
then shit some more. And
it just was really bad football. So was not happy because it was very cold outside.
Yeah,
and very windy, and it was not worth sitting outside to go and watch that shitty game, even though we did because we're good fans.
Yeah, but we left with 6 minutes left in the game.
We did, and I never do that
because I knew they had no pulse.
Yeah, there was
like,
no pulse.
Your fan base, sorry, I just punched my water bottle. Your fan base has been partying and supporting you and psyching themselves up for your game that you're playing and
I
it's
think
your job to show up for it.
I think they ate too much turkey. I think they ate turkey at like 8 o'clock at night the night before.
I know you just had a game. I know it was a short week.
Lori, there's no excuse. There's no excuse being a professional
But you
athlete and
didn't have an ounce of passion.
no,
I saw no passion. I
no.
need more passion.
Yes.
More.
Yes.
None.
Yeah, so that's what we did on Friday. That Saturday, I cleaned my house and I pulled down all of my Thanksgiving fall decorations, put up freaking two Christmas trees by myself because Jim went down to the house in the Chesapeake to pull the boat out of the water. And yeah, so I actually, from the time I woke up to the time I went to sleep, I got in almost 19,000 steps just walking around in my fucking house.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I was really tired.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And then Sunday morning early, went down to the Chesapeake because I had to help Jim with some stuff with the boat. And then, we did our shopping. So it was a solid weekend. I was went back to work this morning and I was like, dude, I need like another 3 days and just like being in my pajamas and watching like Christmas movies.
Yeah.
That's serious, dude. Like running hot this weekend.
It was a lot, but it's good. And it is the season. It's just that time of year.
It is. It is. Today, we're excited to welcome two forces in the running world, Emma Spoldi and Kayla Zwirko. Hello, ladies.
Hi.
Now, you might have seen them at the Philly Marathon this year for those who are either on social media or were at the race. They were dressed as the literal founding fathers and powering through 26.2 miles in those costumes like it was 1776. Whoop, whoop. And we did go and see y'all go and run through our corral, so which was really fun. Now, Emma has run the Chicago Marathon, Marine Corps, Philly, Boston, and Rome is on deck. And this is all while she shares all of her running journeys on her Instagram page. And we're going to talk a little bit more about the power of social media here in a second. And Kayla is a world traveler, Boston Marathon qualifier, and ultra finisher. And she's also the founder of the H2Go Life Running Club with her husband. And we even found out that she ran a mile a day for a full year. Like, girl.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
That's commitment. That's commitment.
I love that.
We're going to tab into that one as well. So together they bring fun, energy, and inspiration to the running community. And today we're going to talk about how they met, their running club, social media, coaching, tips for new runners, and of course, the founding fathers costumes. So Emma and Kayla, welcome to the Mile 20 podcast.
Thank you. Oh, we're so excited to be here.
Oh my gosh, you guys are so much fun. Just like the little meet and greet that we did prior to the podcast. Y'all have just some unbelievable energy. So we absolutely love it, and we love seeing just girl power. Just straight up.
Yes. We
Women
love that.
Supporting women is key.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, all right. So we're going to start first with how we have connected with you guys. So we were at the Philly Marathon. You guys ran the Philly Marathon, and we're standing there and we're doing our stretching. And all of a sudden there's like this crew, not just the two of you, but this crew of people, full garb, dressed up like the founding fathers. And so we have to just get the backstory. Like, how did you guys come up with this? Like, who participated with you? Because and the costumes were like spot on, by the way.
And where did you get these costumes? These are all things we need to know.
It's all fair questions. Emma and I have known each other for a couple years now, and we just got into this space of, we train really hard for these races, and you go out and can I beat the last PR? And what can I do differently, from race to race? And then all of a sudden we were like, I really just want to have fun. We're not getting paid to be out here. We just want to be able to go out, bring joy, because as you both know, when you go out and you run these races, when you give things to the crowd gives you things back, and you just give it. So we were like, how can we just make this a full circle moment? And I don't even remember what we saw. I think I saw a bachelorette party or something like that. I saw some girls who did a bachelorette party on Instagram, and it was something about the founding fathers. And I said, wouldn't it be funny if we ran a race dressed as the founding fathers? And Emma's like, say when, and we'll go. And from there, we just started to ask other people who we knew from our run club who were interested. It's like, we're just going to do it for fun. we'll do a run walk method so everyone can stay together regardless
Oh,
of
I
their
love that.
ability. And from there, it just kind of snowballed. I think we had 7 people at the end of the day, and
Oh,
it
wow.
was it was a blast. So actually, it was like big text chain that goes out saying, "Hey, everyone needs to purchase before August your uniforms because we don't want Halloween to rob us of what we need for
Oh,
this marathon." So
No, that's serious too. And if
yeah.
you're going, as a
yeah.
coordinated group, like I mean, and the costumes were fantastic.
Yes.
Well, you got to go all out. You can't half-ass
Yeah.
something like this. You just got to do it and commit. But Emma is like one of my biggest cheerleaders. I have this idea and she goes, "All right, let's go. Let's make it
Does
happen."
that
I would
sound
say it's
familiar?
probably like a
Yes.
year in the making.
It
Not,
was, yeah.
I think it's been a year in the making.
Yeah, 100%.
So did you know you were running Philly and decide before you decided on the founding fathers? Like which came first, founding fathers or Philly?
Oh,
So,
great question.
Oh, actually,
yeah, so
yeah.
so what happened? It's kind of crazy the way that our season happened. So Emma and I went to Disney to run the Disney Half Marathon with our Achilles athlete, who we both would run with. So
Oh, nice.
we're big supporters of Achilles International, and we have an athlete who is part of our run club, and so he really wanted to go and run the Disney Half Marathon. And Emma and I, hands up, we were like, well, we'll make this happen for you. So we end up going down there, and as you both know, during the Disney half marathon or marathon weekend, there's some crazy people who are running the Dopey Challenge, which
Yes.
is
She ran the
the
Dopey
No, no,
Challenge.
no.
Oh
I
no,
didn't.
wait.
I didn't do Dopey. Dopey didn't exist when I did it. I did the Goofy
The
twice.
Goofy.
okay. Okay. So we were like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. But then after the weekend, we stayed in the park for a day or two, and there are people walking around with all these medals, and they look like
Yeah.
they're having, and I go, the FOMO I have about this whole dopey thing is so real. So I said, Emma, we got to find something like this. And I think you had sent me somebody who had completed all
Yeah.
three of them. And I was like, February, we signed up for Philly. We're like, we're doing it. We're doing all of them. So we actually did the Freedom Challenge. We did both races on Saturday and then
Oh,
the
I
race
love
on
that.
Sunday.
Yeah, I think Maggie and I saw you in the pickle costumes
Oh,
on
yeah,
Saturday. Did you have those on for the 8K or for the half or both?
No,
just the
just the
half.
half.
Oh, just the half. I think we
Just
saw you
just the
guys
half.
finish because we were
You
in
were
line
the
for the
marathoner when?
Just fun that
Yeah.
Yeah.
weekend.
Yeah, and we actually carried pickles with us. We had jars of pickles that we were handing out to people on the course. But
Oh,
we,
that's
so
commitment.
well, yeah, so I mean, we just decided we wanted to do this. We thought about the founding fathers. We thought Marine Corps first, and then Emma goes, well, I feel like if we're going to put these founding fathers in their natural habitat, we probably should be doing it in Philly.
That's a good
So,
call.
yeah.
yeah. And then I think Emma called me like 2 months before Philly and was like, hey, just so you know, Watson Dietz.
Dietz and
Dietz and
Watson. Oh,
Watson.
Dietz and Watson.
Dietz and Watson is the official partner for the half marathon, and it's the year of the pickle. And we're like, well, if we're dressing up for one of these races, we will dress up for
We had the
both.
best time that
Yeah.
weekend, honestly. Like so memorable.
Now, had y'all been to Philly before?
Yes.
For
Yeah,
work.
Okay.
for work.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mainly.
okay,
Mhm.
okay, okay. Yeah. And was there any like memorable moment throughout the race where either, another runner or a spectator went and like had some interaction with y'all that like just made it like super memorable?
Oh
What
God.
about that girl at the end?
Oh, yes, at the end, we were probably mile 13 onwards, we were running with this girl who we still have to look up.
Yeah.
We were kind of running back and forth with her, and it was coming down to the final stretch of the race, and she was like, I don't know if I can do it. Like, you guys, I need to like stay with you. And we like brought her into the group, one of the founding fathers. We brought her in.
Honorary father.
Yeah, and it was just amazing to see her like finish with us, and we like congratulated her.
We took
and
pictures with
we took
her.
pictures. So I think that was just amazing to see, like the camaraderie there, and just the energy, and it like really lifted her spirits. And I think that's what we saw a lot
Yeah.
in the race, just like lifting people's spirits. It was amazing. It was so
Yeah.
fun.
It was either the people we were around, the people we would pass. It was cool because we were doing a run walk method where we did seven
Right.
minutes of running and then 3 minutes of walking. And so that with that came a lot of leapfrogging with people that were around us. And I think you had the people who were like, I cannot let someone in a George Washington like costume pass me. But then you also have those individuals who just are like, okay, if they can do it, I can do it. And we saw that out on the course, and that was really special.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I absolutely love that. And it is funny when you just mentioned where there are people where you're like, they can't finish before me, or they can't,
Yeah, I heard a couple of those.
like
Yeah.
we have that in every race,
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
it just helps mentally with motivation sometimes.
It
You're
does.
like, no.
So I'll share. We ran the Ocean City, Maryland marathon because my daughter, so she was getting her marathon maniac status at that race. So we signed up for it, and there was this gal who was. I don't know if she's run like a lot, but like she definitely she was like our creeper. Like she kept like getting on our heels, and then we would stop for a minute, and then she'd pass us, and we're like, we cannot let her beat us. And like literally like the last like 4 or 5 miles, we kept like
Yeah.
turning around, like she's still behind us, okay? Like and that was the thing that motivated us to just keep moving.
Yeah.
Like seriously, and it had nothing to do with her personally. We had a conversation with her at some point.
Yeah.
Very, very nice lady, but
Yeah.
yeah, we were like, no, she's
No.
not beating our asses.
Yeah. You need that.
You do.
You totally do.
Even when you're not going for time. Because we're not.
Yeah.
But you still just need the mind games because you're out there we're out there for so long.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So how did you two meet? You said you've known each other for a couple of years now. So what's your backstory?
Okay, well, actually, I recently moved to Connecticut and I was searching for a run club in the area. It just so happened that Kayla and Jared started H2Go, which I love so, so much. And I went to the first meeting and that's how we first met. And then Kayla was like, "Hey, you're training for the New York City Marathon. Why don't you come run a long run with me?" And ever since then,
Yeah. Yeah.
So
It
you
was
guys
it.
do your long runs together?
yes, always,
Yeah.
Always.
always.
Well, we got really lucky because not only were we training for the same races, but then a year ago, Emma and I were out on a run, and Emma was like, "Can we go down this street right here? It's like down the street from where I live." And Emma goes, we put a bid on a house and we lost the house, and I just want to go see it." And I'm like, "You're doing this to yourself. This is so sad." But okay. And so we go to run down there. We end up seeing another run club friend who was just out walking her dog, and we told her the story, and she goes, "Well, we're going to put our house on the market if you want to come in and you want to take a look around our house." And so in the middle of our run, Emma does a house tour at a fellow run clubber's house, and she now lives in that house. They sold it without a realtor. They just went, and so now she lives less than half a mile from me.
Oh,
Oh
that's
my
fantastic.
gosh,
Yeah.
I absolutely freaking love that.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
That was an epic run.
Yes.
That,
Yes.
that-
Yes.
yes.
Very epic.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So do you guys room together, or like when you travel to marathons, are you guys together or no? Because your husband also runs, right? And
Yeah.
does your
Well, we've done Disney, and then
We typically room with each
We
other.
do,
We're
we
only
do.
together.
Yeah, we are
We're
together. Same Airbnb, same hotel.
We're near each other.
We're very near. We're near each
Yeah.
other.
So do you guys like have any like race day isms that you have like because you run together, you do long runs together, like is there any pre-race rituals or anything like that you've established?
Well, I know I can't eat with you the night before.
No, I know.
Oh,
Emma
why
will
is
like
that?
should we eat like spicy olive vodka? And I was like, what? Well, I can't do that. Then
I do have one, I think.
Okay.
I send Kayla and you now send me.
Yes.
I call it like my Superman poses. It just gives me confidence for the morning of the marathon. So I look myself in the mirror and I like do like super like power poses essentially. I don't know what it is. It just boosts my confidence, and I always send them to her, and now she sends them back to me.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I absolutely love that.
That's
So
fantastic.
you mentioned like food the night before a race because
Yeah.
I mean it is a personal decision, right? Because everybody processes their food differently. So Emma, do you have a go-to food like the night before? I'm hearing spicy, but is that your go-to?
It's like just one
Or
time. I
was
was
that
like,
just
what
a
are you
bad
doing?
decision one night and now Kayla's like, I'm never eating with you ever again.
Well, it's interesting because I mean, I typically, for my serious races, I'll stay at a hotel, for example, and so I have to go out for dinner.
Yeah.
But I'll typically try to eat something high carb like pasta, and then keep it pretty simple like chicken, apart from that one spicy time.
I just won't let her live it down. That's all.
But Kayla, you kind of do it a little bit differently.
I do. Yeah, I eat the same meal every Friday before, so like throughout the year. So I'm very regimented and routine about it. So I have rice pilaf and salmon every Friday because I have my long run on Saturday, which means I'll either bring rice pilaf and salmon wherever I'm going or go out and eat that. So yeah, I'm a little bit crazier with it, but it's so funny because even then you do these races for fun. I'm like, I could eat whatever I want,
Exactly.
and nothing happens. You're totally fine, but it's all mental, and I just have to keep riding that mental
No, but
train.
but but when I mean, you like, and again, everybody's body is different, right? So you know yourself, and like you found
Yeah.
something that works. We have a ritual the night before races.
Oh,
Yeah, we definitely eat pizza. I usually drink a beer and she has wine.
Love
We
it.
I love
hydrate.
it.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For carbs.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes it works out well. Some days it just doesn't. So,
Yeah.
So we know what races we can actually probably critique all of the marathons where they have done a really good job with the Porta Johns and ones that have
Fair
not done
enough.
really, really good job. So, unfortunately.
Yeah. There was a season where I realized I had to stop eating vegetables, like a lot of raw vegetables the day
Yeah,
before
that
race.
makes
I'm like,
sense.
Yeah, no
I
salads.
I do no like crazy raw fiber. I'm like, nope,
Yeah.
none. The day before
Smart.
race, I can't. It's
Yeah.
just,
Yeah,
it's
because
not
we
good.
just, while Porta Johns are great to have on the course, we just don't want to see them very frequently.
No,
No,
no.
no, no.
But there is like a huge difference too when you're going for time and knowing
Yes.
and not and
Yes.
having a more fun time. And you know that it doesn't matter if you stop at the Porta John. Like
Yeah.
if you have a little bit of an upset stomach, it's just not that big
Yeah.
of a deal.
And when you're with seven people, one person stops, we all have to stop. So,
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
So what was the logistics on that? Like, everybody, I mean, obviously you all started together, everybody finished together as well.
yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. And it
That's
was very much
awesome.
a like, if you need something, say something. If you need us to walk an extra minute, if you
Mhm.
need us to run an extra minute, you kind of, make sure you speak up, but then be like, all right, well, I have to go use the restroom. All right, well, we all might as well go because we're not going to stop that many times, and you have to take off your pantaloons and all the other things you got on this.
We
Okay.
did set clear
Okay.
expectations
Yes.
going into the race so that this was purely for fun and that if you needed anything on the course, say something.
Yeah.
But also for the run walk method, we stay together. We ride at dawn together.
Yes,
I love that.
absolutely. Yeah.
That was
It was,
what
I think that that's key. If you're going to do something like that with your friends, it's making sure that you have a plan in place going into it
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that is what set us up for success.
Agreed. Agreed. Yeah, I mean, Lori and I, it's just the two of us, but we run every step together. So
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah, I mean, I did have a race recently where I was like, just go without me.
Save yourself.
Well, that was Medoc. So I have you guys heard of the Marathon du Medoc?
No.
Oh,
Okay, so it's
consider this
outside.
our gift to you.
Yeah. So it's outside of Bordeaux, France. It is 80% of the field shows up in costume, and they have a theme that they want you to dress for in costume every year.
But wait for it. But
Okay.
wait
But
for
wait,
it. But wait for it.
you run through about 23
Three.
different chateaus, which are vineyards.
That's very cool.
And they give
Each-
you wine in wine glasses.
Each chateau
in my glasses.
Each chateau is a party. You run, you stop, you drink wine, there's
Cool.
food, there's a live music, there are people dancing. It was the most insane thing I've ever seen in my life.
I totally agree.
Insane. I mean,
there was a guy who was
crazy.
French, and he's holding his like glass of wine, right? And they have bands at each of the chateaus too. So he has this glass of wine between his two fingers, and he's dancing and he's smoking his cigarette with a race bib on. I was like,
Amazing.
what the hell?
Amazing. And those are the people who are going to beat you with no effort. And I'm like,
None.
I trained
That's right.
for years for this, and you beat me. And
That's right. That's right. But that race was like 93 degrees, like at the height of it. So at about mile 8, I was like, Lori, just go on without me. This like no,
it's not how it works.
Yeah, no, it's not how it works. So no, absolutely.
Yeah, no, we finished. It was all good.
Yeah. So, all right. So, Emma, what drew you to running? How did you become interested in racing, and then ultimately, how did you take your passion for running and then like bring it into like the social media fold?
Oh, yeah. Well, I've always been an active person, I would say. I played basketball, I rode in college, and after graduating school, I was like, what else can I really do? So I kind of picked up running. I was also injured a bit, and so when I felt good enough to like start running again, it felt really good, and I was like, okay, let's keep doing this. And I've always wanted to do a marathon, so I signed up for the New York City Marathon with my legs feeling good and all of that. And so I did that, and then fell in love with the whole process of training, doing the race, meeting like some of my best friends, and really from there I've been really hooked to the marathon. And so I've been trying to do kind of a race every season, I guess. And so in midst of that though too, I've always loved having a creative outlet. And so social media I found was really fun because I love editing videos, taking videos, making the content. And so I was like, oh, maybe I could do this for myself and just have fun with it, really just have fun with it. And I've been loving just posting. It's also been really fun to see like my journey from like the very beginning of running to like now. And so, it's a creative outlet in that sense.
And you're really good at it.
I love that. You're really good at it.
Yeah,
She's
you
really
are.
good at it.
So I'm gonna share this, and hopefully none of my work peeps are gonna like ding me, but like so I was doing like because Lori did a deep dive over the weekends, just getting background, totally stalking you both, right?
Social media.
So so I was all right, let me get familiar with our interviewees, and I was like on a work call and I was like multitasking, dude. I got down a rabbit hole like in your video. So I'm like, she's good. I was like, oh,
Thank you.
And like really good, like to the point where I was like, wait, what call am I on?
Yeah. So anybody who's listening right now, that's Be Well by Emma.
Yes.
Check her out. You do such a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah. So Kayla, you seem to have like I was stalking, so like I saw like you've good. I saw your love for Jimmy Buffett, and
Oh my gosh, you went in a deep rabbit hole.
I was deep. That
you want to spy, man? Like she's your gal.
Love. I'm into it.
I saw your fashion posts, but like, so how did running come into your life?
Yeah, it's a good question. So I actually didn't run until the pandemic hit for the most part, which is crazy. So my husband works for Hole in the Wall Gang Camp, which is a nonprofit that's here in Connecticut. It was started by Paul Newman back in the 80s.
Oh,
and it is a summer camp that's located here in Connecticut, which is where Paul Newman is from. I don't know if you know that.
I did not.
But he started a summer camp for seriously ill children and their families to go to summer camp for free. And so he created this camp, and my niece is actually a camper. She just aged out this past year. But my husband, Jared, works for the camp. And so he was running all of the marathon teams. So for the New York City Marathon, the Boston Marathon, Marine Corps Marathon, they would get bibs for these marathons, similar if you were to run any of them for charity. And so because of that, he got to go to the start line for the New York City Marathon back in 2019. And he comes home and he was like, that was the most incredible, inspiring thing I've ever seen. I'm going to run that next year. And I said, you are crazy. I think you've only ever run our local turkey trot. I can't believe that now you're going to go from that to running a marathon. And sure enough, January 1st, he puts sneakers on and goes down on the treadmill. And I was like, well, what am I supposed to do now? Because you're going to be training for something. And my mom said, you know what? How about you and I trained for a half marathon together. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that. That sounds terrible. And she goes, what if we do it in like Nantucket or Martha's Vineyard? And I was like, I could be convinced. I could be convinced.
Travel and run? Yes, please.
Yeah, sure. And so I trained for my first half marathon. Jared trained for his first marathon, and we got to March, April timeframe, and everything was canceled. And I'm like, well, I've already come this far. So we just kept running. And so with camp, we ended up getting bibs for Boston Marathon. They needed people to run in 2022. Still that odd time where they just had Boston in September 2021. So to then have it in the spring of 22, it was a very odd time. And so they had extra bibs, which could you imagine now having extra bibs to the Boston Marathon anywhere? I know.
No.
So we took them and I ran my first marathon and it was terrible and I had the worst time. And we crossed the finish line together and Jared was like, I'm going to assume that this is a one and done. I said, oh no, I'm coming back next year and I'm going to have redemption. And I cut an hour and 7 minutes off of my time at Boston.
Wow. Congratulations. That's awesome.
That's so it was just one of those things where you just don't know what you don't know. I wasn't fit. I just, and so we just kept running. I ran an ultra and it just started to form. And I actually stopped drinking during that time frame too. And so then I'm like, how do people meet friends? How do you meet people as an adult? I don't want to go to the bar. I'm trying to find people. And I said, we should start a run club or something like that. Right before run clubs really became a thing about 2 years ago. And so that's what we did. We started a run club and Emma showed up to the first one and that's where we are ever since. But it just literally, I tell people running found me in a time where I needed it most. And I didn't even know that was what I would need going into the pandemic or going into the lifestyle that I had and needed to get out of. So it was a very cool story for me.
Yeah.
Oh, I absolutely love that. I love that.
That is fantastic.
Yeah. And it is remarkable that it's a run club running that brought you two together. Right.
Yeah.
And your lives were on totally different trajectories. We met in a run club as well.
Yeah.
Love it.
And we were talking about a book. I'm a yapper when we're talking.
I just listen.
And so I started talking about this book and she's like, are you talking about like this book? And I was like, yes, Outlander. And I was like, yes. And then next thing you know, we're like, and the 3 miles that we ran that day just flew by. And so
we were both signed up for Marine Corps that year too.
Yeah.
So we started long running together
towards each other.
Similar storyline, but different.
Yeah.
The long runs have to be done together. You can't do it by yourself.
No.
I love that. So Emma, you have Rome on deck. Right. So is that your next race?
Yes. That one's at the end of March.
So Lori and I have run that race.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And so if you want tips and stuff. Yeah.
So my daughter studied abroad.
Yeah.
And she happened to be moving from her Paris block of her study abroad to Rome that weekend. And she didn't have any place to stay. I'm like, honey, talking to my husband, I'm like, sweetie, I've got to go to Rome and there's the marathon.
Totally.
She needs a hotel room. Like, what else are we going to do?
If I recall, Maggie sent us the link to the marathon and she's like, hey, bitches, you didn't come to visit me in London and Paris and there's a marathon here in Rome. And I was like, what's next thing you know, I think I signed up and I sent you the thing.
I was like, shit.
She's like, damn it.
Fantastic. It sounds like us. Yeah.
It'll make you cry. It'll make you cry. It'll make you cry. It is like, Like just everything about it was just like you start at the Coliseum and you're standing there as a runner just thinking about, I mean, and think about this. You both have those first marathons, right? Kayla, the story you just told where you're like, yeah, okay, I finished it, but I needed a redemption. But you remember that first marathon so keenly.
Totally.
When you're standing like in an iconic spot, like outside of the Coliseum with all these other runners, you're like, holy crap.
Yeah.
It's like that moment. So, like, Emma, for you, like, when did you have like that, oh crap moment? I'm really in it. Like, I'm really a marathoner. I'm like, this is my lifestyle now. Like, did you have like one of those like
Yeah.
races that like kind of turned it on for you? Because Kayla, I think we just got that from you, right? You're like,
Yeah.
I'm in
Yeah.
this.
I would say probably two moments. Definitely my first marathon after the New York City Marathon. I didn't think I was gonna get emotional afterwards. But I started sobbing, I started crying. I was like, oh my goodness. And so I think just from there, I was like, I could do this. Like I can go faster next time, but I could also travel the world doing races and like doing it with my best friends too. So I think like all of those emotions just came up for me after the first marathon. And then the second moment, which I didn't tell you about, but Chicago, because she's also my running coach. But during the Chicago Marathon, I think it was like mile 25 or something like that. I got emotional as well because I knew I was gonna hit my PR, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm doing this. Like, I'm actually a solid runner doing this. I'm not
Yeah.
just like a first time marathon. I'm like actually crushing it right now. And so like that too, I was like, oh, all the training and all the months and all the years going into it was,
When it compounds.
yeah, that
Yeah.
that was a crazy feeling too.
Oh, I absolutely love that. And yeah, and it is one of those things where all of a sudden you turn around, you're like, oh wait, I'm a marathoner,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? And I don't know about you ladies, but like it defines me like
Oh,
personally.
100%.
And when I talk about like my brand, like at work, to other
Yeah.
people, that's one of the first things I lead with. I lead with I'm a marathoner and I'm an Army veteran. And I'm like, okay, at least with one of those two, maybe you think I'm a badass.
Yeah.
Or a little
At
crazy,
least one of them.
At least one, right? But yeah, it does. It defines you as a person because of the commitment that you make and the grit and the perseverance.
Absolutely.
Because you not every run's a great run, right? And you're gonna have
Mhm.
ones that you're like you just bonk, and you're like that's why we train, right? And
Yeah.
Yeah.
so yeah, it just anytime I meet a fellow runner, you just kind of know what's in the package, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
you
and you
know.
have to have those bad runs to know what the good ones feel like.
Oh,
So
Exactly.
absolutely.
that's such a huge piece of it. But I tell Emma and pretty much anyone who we're around when it comes to whether you're trading for a half marathon, a marathon, whatever that looks like, you're not the same person that you are when you decide to sign up for the race versus who you are just at the start line, let alone the finish line, So
Yeah.
it's really important to remember the journey and what goes into that. And so when I have someone who's running their first marathon and you get to that point where you're like, listen, this day could go to shit. That's a reality. And that's okay because the journey, what got you here, is so much more impactful. The
Yeah.
race is just the celebration at the end of the day because your growth over the last 16, 18, 20 weeks, whatever that looks like, is so monumentous that that trumps anything of what a qualifier time or a PR or just a good marathon is in general. So
Agreed.
that's what I tell people if they're going to
That's
run their
great
first
advice.
marathon. Yeah.
That's
And
so
it's
well
hard.
said.
It's hard in the moment. We all know that now. And even for myself, when you don't get the time that you want, like that's hard. But you're like, well, I had the best training cycle I've ever had. I didn't miss one run. Or remember that time I hit those splits? I didn't even think I could go that fast. And so it's really important to ground yourself after you throw the little pity party. So it's something important to remember. And even if the race is fantastic, it's the best race you ever had. Look at that 20 weeks that got you there.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So, Emma, question, are you doing Rome for time?
No, just for fun. Oh my gosh, yes, just for fun.
Okay.
I'm actually an Italian citizen, so I grew
Oh,
up going to
that's
Connecticut. My family's still there, so it'll just be nice to, see them there.
Oh,
But
that's
then
so
also,
you've
wonderful.
been to Rome many times
yes,
before, I'm
yes, yes,
assuming.
yes. But I was like, you know what? Let me do a little tour
Yeah.
on
On
that
foot.
Sunday on foot.
Yeah.
Be a gladiator
It
for
is
a
the
day.
best. It is the best tour of Rome.
It
Like
is.
Oh,
it
I'm
is.
so
It
excited.
is
Yes.
so fantastic. And I'll be curious to get your impressions of race packet pickup.
Yeah.
I'm just
Oh,
I'm not
Okay.
gonna steal, like,
No,
because
well,
every no, I don't want to steal, I don't
well,
want
I
to
feel
steal
like we should
Kirk's.
just tell them what we
Well,
experienced, just in
no,
case, don't you
no,
think?
no, no. I want that to be a surprise for her, because you and I were like, what the fuck is
Yeah,
this?
but we got
I
lost. We
know.
can direct her. Let's help.
No, I'm talking about how people showed up.
Oh, no, no, no. I'm
Yes.
talking about, all right, I'm talking about there is what packet pickup was weird for us.
Oh,
Now they may have
you're gonna talk
changed
about the
it since.
sports.
Yes, this
Okay.
was
All right.
2022.
Yeah, 2022.
Um, when we showed up, we got into line to pick up our packet, and they're like, the women's pickup is over there. Like there was men and women had two separate
oh,
packet pickups. And then I think it was probably around mile 18, we were stopping for a bathroom. And I also think that maybe the porta-johns were men and
Mm.
women, but
oh,
they
We
were just
we
interesting.
wish we had known that earlier.
porta-johns.
Um,
Interesting.
Yeah.
yes. And then they also had baggage drop off. It was separate for men and women as well. And we're like,
Mm.
is this a thing? We did not experience this in France.
No.
So we were like, is this
Wow.
specific to Rome? Is it an Italian thing? Yeah, we just
Wow.
we weren't sure.
Yeah.
But
Back
that's
pocket
not the
that.
piece that
Oh.
I think there's definitely a cultural vibe when you go to packet pickup for Rome.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna leave it at
I'll
that.
let you know.
And we definitely look like Americans
I
when we went.
can't wait for the
100%.
follow-up podcast where we just we
Yes,
debrief
so
on
I'm
this.
not, yeah, I'm not gonna steal it, but it was just like, huh.
Interesting. Okay. I'm on my toes
The
now.
The other thing is that if for any reason you do need to use the porta johns, those were the most crushed porta johns I've ever seen in my life. Like
Oh,
what? Like there was some, yeah, it was nasty. There was liquid. I tossed my
Oh,
shoes. My shoes did not come home, and they had zero. Maybe it's because I was using the men's. There was zero toilet paper.
There was no toilet paper, and there was about 2 or 3 inches of fluid at the bottom of the porta johns, like no shit.
So
And
gross.
it got to the, all right, I'm probably oversharing, but I'm going to overshare because we're runners and that's what we do, right?
Yeah.
So it got to the point where we needed toilet paper. So they were handing out, because it was warm out, and they were handing out these wet sponges where you could like wipe
oh
yourself
yeah.
off. I might have used a sponge.
I ran
You
with
gotta do what you
mine.
gotta do.
I put it in my
Absolutely.
bra. I put it in my bra, and I was like, we're gonna be resourceful.
Resourceful.
And
So
That's the
resourceful.
freshest I have ever felt
we
during
were
a
nice and
marathon.
fresh,
I'm
weren't
gonna
we?
tell
I
you.
bet. I bet.
okay.
We did the Croatia half marathon
Oh, how was
earlier
that?
this year, and it was one of the coolest experiences I've ever done. I wish they had a marathon distance, but they didn't. And it's cool. You run like along some of the wall and everything, and their packet pickup was just walking through. You stood in line. They handed you a beer with a cup. They were like, "You can come get this filled at all times during the week for free." And we were like, "Oh, okay."
This has
And you're
sounded
like,
like a good race.
yeah, it was like this is how they do it in Europe. This is great.
You also went to the club afterwards.
Oh, yeah, they had a club for runners. It was the best experience ever. It was 2 p.m. in the afternoon, dark. Like you would have thought in that building, you would have thought that it was midnight because it was just dark, music blaring, drink like people were drinking everywhere. And it's just runners like in their post-run clothes with their medals on, dancing in the middle of the dance floor, like
I love
jamming
that.
it up to a huge DJ. And it was just like, then you walk outside, you're like, oh, it's 2 p.m. Oh, okay. Cool. All right.
I love that. I
Yeah.
think that needs to be after like every race.
I agree. That, and honestly, I could go on a whole tangent about how we should have matinee concerts because if I have to stay up until
Great.
till
Yeah.
10 p.m. just to watch the person who I went to see come on, that's a whole other thing.
Yeah. That's fair. But there are the festivals. The festivals do help, but
True.
they always do put the smaller people earlier in the day, which is not quite as much fun.
Yeah,
But we're digressing.
we are.
So Kayla, they running a mile for
Oh
every
yeah.
day for a year. When did you do that?
I did that 2 years ago.
2 years ago? Okay.
Yeah.
So when you did that, like, was it something that you consciously chose to do? And what kind of like discipline did it like kind of teach? Like, what did you learn from it?
Yeah, it's a really good question. I just came up with this idea of how I wanted to push myself over the course of a whole year. And I didn't know what that was going to look like. I had run a 50-mile ultra marathon and I just felt like that was cool, I guess. But I just wanted
Uh,
to It's it is one of those things where I
Hell on earth.
wanted a way to push myself every day. And I thought about this mile every day challenge. You see some of these people are like mile, day 2000 of this,
Yeah.
mile. And I was like, I wonder if I could just do it for a year. And I said, how can I, take it a step further? And I have a friend who has had a long-standing running streak. And he's like, I do my mile every morning. I go down on the treadmill. I could be in my boxers. I could do it. And I was like, that's not good enough for me. And so I said, it has to be outside, no matter what the weather is, 1 mile outside. So it could be snowing, it could be raining, it could be hot, it could be whatever it is. I have to go out and run that mile. And some days it might be a 7-minute mile, and some days it might be a 14-minute mile. And it doesn't matter. It just has to be me getting out there and moving, even on the days that I don't want to, even on the day that I decided I no longer want to drink anymore, even on the day that I got let go from my job, even on those really tough days where I'm having the best day of my life or I'm crying. I need to go out there and do it for me and prove to myself that even after everything that could happen, the highest of highs or the lowest of lows, you can still show up for yourself, whatever that looks like.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
that was really important to me. And I got all the hard stuff out of the way, like January, February, March. That was the worst. Everything
Oh
else,
yeah, in
yeah.
Connecticut? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in Connecticut, some Michelin Man ones where I'm just like I'm literally out there in full get up. Um, but it was just something that was incredibly impactful for me. And I love telling people about it because I never thought that I could do it. And so to prove to myself, I ran three marathons that year. I ran 3 marathons that year, and the day after I was still up and going for my run. And so
That's
we
awesome.
we went to a wedding in Scotland that year as well. My best friend got married in Scotland, and we flew over there, and we landed at like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. And my whole family go, everybody put some sneakers on. We're all going together. We're gonna do this 1 mile together. Um, but yeah, it was never something where I worried about forgetting. It was never something where like, oh, I was laying in bed and I realized, oh shoot, I've got to go do it. That never
Yeah.
happened. But it was a really incredible experience. I learned a lot about myself and how I can show up for other people and also myself.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did you and Jared decide to form H2Go? Like, how did that brainchild come about?
Yeah. We make a lot of jokes about it because I said, "Oh, there's really great races that happen locally, and like I wish that we could find a community." Because at this point, all I'm thinking is, how do I make friends? How do I make friends? That's all I care
Yeah.
about. And um, and I said, we have really cool races in the area. Maybe we form this group that runs together, but like the core is we are a hydration station at all these races. So like, oh, we're coming up to the hydration station. It's the same group, it's the same crew, at all of these local races. So I said, we're gonna call ourselves Hydration Station. And my husband was like, that is a dumb name. We're not
It's
doing that.
hard to come up with the name, isn't
It's so hard. But so we
it?
had this like water element to it that we were thinking about. So H2Go isn't like this massive brainchild that we came about. It was literally like, I want us to, have this hydration station feel. And so Jared came up with the concept of like H2Go. And he's like, and maybe like we can do some volunteering and we can do things at races, but we like to run. Let's go out. Let's see if we can partner with local businesses. Let's see how we can kind of form this. So that's how it really started was, all right, let's be this run club that meets at local businesses that we can bring the people to the business. We'll start there. We'll run 3 miles, 5 miles, whatever that looks like. And then we'll end. And when we end, everyone can go in for a beer or for dinner or for coffee or whatever it is, depending on the day and the time. And that was really, I think, what helped was it's not just you going out and having the motivation to get out and go for a run. It's also, all right, and then let's stay after and then let's socialize. Let's get to know each other. And next thing you know, we have people who are going out outside of Run Club. They're traveling with one another. And so they're buying houses from one another. So like it was really cool to see how that evolved just because we're like a run club but with a social agenda is kind of like where we're at. So that was kind of how it all came to be. And now we're getting into like the race directing and the finish lines of different races
Oh,
that
I
are
love
local.
that.
So
Good for you.
and we have 6 different meetups throughout the week. They all happen in different locations in Connecticut. So my husband right now is up about 35 minutes away from where we live at one of our partner locations. They have a run there and they'll stay and have dinner. And then tomorrow night we'll have it in a different location that's about 30 minutes away from that one. And so we wanted to provide opportunity for people that, most run clubs are we meet this time on Saturday or this time on Wednesday, but sometimes people work on the weekend. Sometimes people need a morning run. And so we figured the more opportunity that we give, the more we're going to see people of all abilities show up and be able to get to know one another and not just feel like, oh, because I can't go to that one thing, it's not for me.
Yeah, or they miss the one, and then it's like, and then they just lose it.
Right.
It just takes one missed,
Yeah.
Opportunity.
It's like a whole week is a long time to go by. Whereas
Yeah.
like we just have one tomorrow. If you can get in the car and come, you can come to a
Oh, I
different
love that.
location.
I love that. I love.
So are you and Jared at every single, like, do you go all 6 days of these sessions, or do you break it up, or do you have other people that head certain locations and things?
Yeah, so we started with us going to all of them. It's our brain, our love child. That's the thing that we have. But then we started to rely on people like Emma, like our friend Tracy, who we dubbed community leads, who really have been with us since day one, or they understand what we're trying to do and do it the H2Go way. And so a lot of the time we'll have one of us go, but then we'll have a community lead it, or Jared and I will stay home and we know that it's taken care of. So we've done a lot of letting go over the course, I think, of the last 6 months or so.
Congratulations. That's
Full
tough.
delegation.
Yeah,
That's nice.
but it's really special because we do have a great group of community leads. There's about 6 of them that we can rotate, and we have people who we know will go to each one. So it's a great community that we are able to entrust them with that.
I absolutely love that. And you can definitely tell when you're like, again, because we were stalking you, this weekend and today, just being out on both of your social media sites. I mean, you can definitely feel the presence of your running community that you've created, that you've both created. So when
I want to join.
Yeah, I know, right? Like,
yes,
you need one in Philadelphia.
the Philly chapter,
right?
The Philly chapter.
But like, so when you see that people follow you, what do you hope that, people and more than likely they could be runners or like people aspiring to run or just exercise. What do you hope that people get from your content that you post?
That's directed to both
of
of
you. Because again, you both
Absolutely.
have like great content, but it's like different vibes as well, but like similar vibes. They're good.
Yeah.
They're good
Especially
vibes.
when we look at like the H2Go and like Emma, the H2Go account wouldn't be anything without Emma. Like I'll send her like, these are the ideas that I have. And then she's like, all right, when I come tomorrow, like, let's make sure we do X and Y and Z. So she helps really keep it on track. But I think you know, my own personal social media, I just hope that like I'm having fun with it. And if I can inspire other people, that's great. But the H2Go one in particular for me is really important that people of all abilities. So we actually pride ourselves on like all faces and all paces. We literally have someone who runs 7-minute miles. We have someone who runs 14-minute miles. We have people who run, people who walk. We have 20-year-olds and we have 70-year-olds. So we've really done a good job in making sure that everyone feels welcome. We try to get to know their name. We try to get to know something about them because it's not just showing up. It's also making you feel like you're part of the community, whether you've been with us since day one or this is your day one. And so that is really important to us. And I think that if you can look at our social media and we can either, you know, motivate you to get started or to inspire you to keep going, then I think that we've done a really good job.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you said it like the H2Go way. I think that's what sets you apart from a lot of other run clubs. It's like not intimidating to show up.
Yeah.
Everybody's just normal.
Yeah.
You know, all abilities too. So.
Yeah. But then your social media, like, what do you want people to get out of your social media?
For me, it's essentially like we are all normal and we're all just human, right? And so, and I love taking people on the journey of just having fun through running. And so, and it make it not so scary because sometimes I see some of these like crazy fast people so serious, and I get that. I totally get that. But for me, I'm like, that's not why I wanted to start running. So,
you're relatable.
Relatable. That's
you're
a great
relatable.
word. Thank you.
Yeah.
That is a great word. I mean, because seriously, like, you know, before meeting you, you know, tonight, you know, just being on your account, Emma, like I said earlier, like, I mean, I just got sucked in because I was like, oh, that looks like so much fun. Like there was one that was totally saying relatable, Kayla, is you had a video where you were showing like, you know, what it's like to like life with a runner and, you know, having like
Jeff,
so many shoes and like eating, you know, like so I was laughing at the shoe thing because my husband always complains about how many freaking shoes I have. And I was like, oh, I need shoes for this and I need shoes for that. And I need to, you know, because like they're my running shoes.
No, my favorite was I spent way too long scrolling on the toilet and I'm running out the door, literally. Like there was one of you guys that like I spent too long scrolling and now I'm late. I'm 10 minutes late because I'm always texting her. I'm like,
that's you from Run Club. You're really to Run Club.
I know.
No, and it's like, dude, stop doing your Wordle on the toilet and just freaking like
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, you get it.
It is. Yeah, it's so true. It is so true.
Very true. Emma,
we get a lot of like, I feel targeted. Yeah,
exactly. Like, I've seen those comments.
We did one last year where we did what is that movie? Love Actually. Yeah. We did Love Actually where like I had the cue cards and my husband was in the door. We were like showing the cue cards and it was like, say it's carol singers. And then it said, we still run when it's cold. And the amount of people was like, I feel like this was directed at me because we were trying to tell people like, hey, we realize that you want to come out here in August, you know, in September and run with us. But, you know, we still all run together even when it's cold outside and it's, you know, December, January.
Oh, that sounds like our dialogue last night. So
but this was reversed.
It was totally reversed.
Not like this.
It's
Normally
totally reversed. Yes. So last night I texted her and because we're running the Rehoboth Marathon this Saturday, and so I was like, do we like? And we just ran Philly, right? So we're like, all right, like we got to get out there this week and get just a couple of runs in. So I texted her last night. I'm like, all right, are we running tomorrow? And I got like the sigh, you know.
Yeah, I got
and
I
guess. And I'm like, all right, it's gonna be chilly. It says the real feel is gonna be 15 degrees.
Yay.
And yay. And so we got out there, we got it done this morning, you know, and it was like, all right, you know, and I think that's the thing I like about having a trail wife. Is that, you know, she's my trail wife.
Yeah.
Is that like there's like full accountability and, you know, when again, role reversal, because I'm usually the one that shows up and it's like 50 degrees out.
Don't show up. I get text messages in the dead of winter. It's real feel 8. I just can't.
It's like, fuck that shit.
I'm going back to sleep. And I'm like, I'm gonna go.
I'm I'm like, just put another layer on.
I know.
No, this is the woman that cops out of the car when it's 50 degrees out with a snow cap and her fleece lined jacket. And I'm like, dude, you are going to be sweating balls.
So hot.
She's in
We
shorts.
do. We always say when we start, we say, be bold, start cold, because you will get hot. So
Oh,
that's kind of
that's a good
motto.
one. I like
is,
that.
Yeah,
it
it's a
is,
motto.
It is great, but I just don't like being cold. So I'd rather like
I
tie
get it.
about like 50 layers around my waist.
Totally get it.
I don't know. After years of running, I just can't accept it.
Yeah, it's gotten weird. Everything's got, I hate to say this and bring it up, but it is weird. Like we get into the corral now. Literally looked at around the corral in Philly and I'm like, when did we get old?
Yeah.
Like we've been like my your first marathon was 2000
2005.
Oh,
and
wow.
and mine was 2010. And I look around and I'm like,
I'm like,
seriously.
you probably weren't born when I was running. And we saw
Oh,
two
no.
other people around our age. Yeah, two
In the corral.
people in our corral. So we were like, cool, we're rocking it. We actually had an interaction when we were in one race. We sat with two ladies who were probably like in their early 20s, like friends like us, friends like you all. And we just got to talking to them and stuff. And one of them went and said in the most genuine way possible, not to insult us, we absolutely love it that you guys are still getting out here and doing this.
At your age.
At your age. And we got off the train and I
No.
was like, we are now that old.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
but I think it's wonderful to see that it's perpetuating, right?
Yeah.
Like I think it's good for you guys. I'm assuming early 30s, late 20s.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that about right? I mean, like, so, we're in our 50s, early 50s,
I'm
like, I think
mid-50s.
it's important that people see that you can still be out here and doing it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
maybe it's not the way you did it before, but you can still be out here and enjoying it. That's why there are
Yeah.
course limits, like there's a lot of leadway. There's a very big
Yeah.
runway.
Yeah, and when you love something, you have a passion about it, and you're part of a community, like this, you just
Yeah.
it's really hard to step away from it.
Yeah.
Um,
Community is key.
it really is. So in terms of tips, because we always love giving tips every once in a while. So what would be one running tip you swear by that beginner runners often overlook?
I think we've said some, because I love the be bold, start cold. Yeah. That is one of my
Yeah, it's a
things,
great
because
one.
people do get, to your point, they step outside and they're like, oh my gosh, it's so cold. But it's like, just give it 7 minutes. 7 minutes.
Give it till mile one. It's always mile one. I start stripping.
Yeah. I think part of it is just knowing why you want to be out there, because it could be for anything. It could be so that way you can eat what you want to eat. It could be because the medal is going to be what you like. The medal. We have a friend who she literally is like, I hate running. She's getting ready to run her 10th marathon. And she's like, I absolutely hate it. But if there's a medal, I'm going to do it. Yeah.
Guilty.
So but I think if that's what you're out there for, you're out there to be healthy or just to move your body or to experience a new place, whatever that might be, it's really important to just remember that, because there will be days that are hard. There'll be days that really suck. There'll be days that'll be the best day ever. And so if you are willing to say this is what I'm out here doing it for, this is what that goal is, then you can really ground yourself. Honestly, it's a good thing to just remember in life anyway. It doesn't have to be running. That could be a life,
Oh,
Yeah. For
yes, yes.
Yeah.
I'll also say perhaps be patient.
Ooh, I like that one.
Yeah, because we've seen a lot of folks perhaps go out too fast in terms of building up their mileage, and then you're either injured or you can't sign up for that race anymore. And so in terms of the marathon, for example, for Philly, we were all properly trained, I would say, for that race. We all had either races beforehand or we had 20 weeks in advance to do that. So
Right.
I don't want it to seem like we just did it out of the blue.
That's a really good
Yeah.
point because I think people could look at
Right.
what we did and go, oh, it's not like they trained for it. They just went out there and did it.
Right, because you're in costume, and you know that
Yeah,
could be
like they're
it
not
could be
taking it
misleading, right?
seriously,
Yeah,
or like it
yeah,
can be very misleading, but you're right. Like we have had a couple people in Run Club who have gotten so injured they might need surgery, or they've got, they haven't been able, they had to pull out of certain marathons and races, and I think it's important to realize like that was the third marathon in 6 weeks that we did. So that run walk method is really what got us through. And our bodies were hurting. I mean, you even woke up this morning, you were like, my body is still hurting. And that's okay. But it's really important to listen to your body and to be patient, like Emma says, because you could look at what it looks like on Instagram and on the outside. And we work really hard to be able to do that in costume.
So
Yeah.
was this your first season where you've had that many in a season, or have you done that prior to this season?
That was the first for me.
Yeah, I've done 3, but not in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
I did Boston and then Cape Cod and New York one year.
So yeah, in terms of the patience aspect, like definitely trust your training. Like if you only see like 6 miles for that week, for example, just trust it that you're building up the endurance and building up your strength to eventually get
Yeah.
there. It might not seem like that's what you need to do right now, but 20 weeks out, definitely just take it easy and slow, and you'll progressively get there.
yeah. I love your point about just really listening to your body, and
Yeah.
because if you don't, you definitely run the risk of getting injured more, and if you have an injury, you need to care for it, right?
Yeah.
Recovering, taking a recovery day, doing an Epsom salt bath, going in the sauna, just taking a day off your feet, like that is just as important as your capstone like weekly mileage or your long run that weekend. And
Absolutely.
it's just really important to remember that like recovery is everything.
Yeah, yeah. So both of you, what are you most excited about in 2026?
Ooh, you have a couple of fun things.
I do have some fun things. I am fingers crossed. I'm getting my 6-star medal next year, so that's going to be a big one. So I'm really excited
How
about
are you
that.
getting into these marathons? Is my question.
I
Because
I have some charity connections, and so like that has been I'm very blessed with that. So
yeah.
something like Tokyo is a good example where we obviously have this big tidal hole in the wall gang camp here in Connecticut. They have a sister camp that's in Tokyo that happens to be one of the 36 like
Oh, wow.
charities. Like we got really
Wonderful.
lucky in some
Yeah.
of these scenarios, so I'm not going to take that for granted at all. And so like that's very exciting. So my six
That's
star
awesome.
will be very
Congrats.
exciting.
We're
Thank
very
you.
jealous because man, we're like better strike.
Yeah.
So
Well,
we're waiting on
offline.
Berlin right now, so we'll see. We didn't get in the lottery, but we submitted in through Marathon Tours.
Through the
So
7
Oh,
continents.
good.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Well,
we're keeping our fingers crossed on that.
offline, reach out. I'll make connections. I'd love to
Oh,
link people if I
ah.
can.
Oh, I
Um,
love.
but I have a really good one that I'm really excited about that I feel like you're gonna love.
Oh, go for it.
Ooh,
Okay.
ooh.
I'm excited for grandmas.
Oh, yeah.
We're running grandmas this year, the 50th anniversary.
Yes.
And we are planning to the two of us and our other friend Diana dress up like grandmas for it. And so like I'm putting it out
my
here in the
God.
universe on the podcast. Now Diana can't say no. We figured we could, like
Diana,
just,
you
like-
are in. You are in, Diana. That's it. They
Yes.
said it out loud. They said it out loud.
There you go, Diana. She was one of our founding fathers. She was Paul Revere.
Okay.
And she is like, she wants to be like Utah girl cute. Like she wants us all to look the same in costume. Yeah, princesses, things like that. And so then after Philly, she was like, I think I could dress up again. Like that was a lot of fun. And so we're like, guess what? Grandma's 2026.
Grandma's is a fantastic race.
One of my favorites.
It's one of my
We're
favorites.
so excited.
Yeah,
And
it's
to
a
be there
great
for the
race.
50th anniversary is going to be really special.
Sign up for the train.
Yes. That's where we
Oh,
actually talked to the girls that I was just telling you about, the 20-year-olds that we sat with who made a
the
comment about our
train.
age.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a train that you can actually take
It's
to
an
the start
old
line. It's an old train. You got to
historic
do it.
train,
Got
and
to do
it's
it.
just it's part of the experience.
Imagine your Instagram with video in the grandma costumes with like you out the window, like waving in a grandma costume
Yeah.
on the
On the
old
train.
train. Like, oh yeah. Oh
Well,
yeah, I'm
I
setting it
feel
up
like I
in
need a
bed.
cane. I feel like I could run with a cane. Yeah, just do that. What are you most excited for?
It kind of plays off of that, but I was gonna say, I have a couple of races that are just for fun.
Yeah.
And I think I really needed that to kind of reset the marathon mentality. Because even when I was doing some of the more serious marathons where I was trying to like PR, oftentimes I would come out and just say like, wait, what just happened? I like blacked out the whole time during
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
race. But during Philly or during Marine Corps, I was so present. I remember like everything. So I just want to get back into that mentality of things. And so I'm excited to do Rome, Grandma's. Not sure about fall yet, but yeah.
Oh, I love that. I know we don't really, I mean, we're trying to get into Berlin, but
We signed up for Philly again.
and we signed up for Philly again, and because that's the hometown race, and then we're
Yeah.
running Jekyll Island in January. So it's her husband Dave's birthday that weekend. So we convinced the boys that if we go to Jekyll Island that weekend, we'll run and they can go fish.
Yeah.
Great.
So, and I don't know, we're going to be at some historical hotel and stuff. So,
I love that.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
everything we
If
have right now. So,
if you don't get into Berlin, which you're going to, because I'm putting that out in the universe for you. But
thank you.
Thank you.
if you don't get into Berlin, have you ever done the Cape Cod Marathon?
No.
No, we did a Ragnar in Cape Cod.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So the
It's
Cape Cod
hilly.
Marathon was one of my favorites.
Really?
It was incredible, great hometown support. And they actually have this chowder challenge. So it's the half on Saturday and the full on Sunday. And if you complete them, you get a chowder like mug. And you also get a third medal that is a chowder spoon. And it's one of the coolest medals that I have.
That
But what
sounds
a fun like experience. It was an absolute blast. It's really an amazing race and
Oh, thank you for the
beautiful
tip
all
on
along
that.
the water.
What time of year is that one?
September. It's like the last
September.
week in September, first week in October time
Okay.
frame.
All
So
right.
like Berlin Marathon time frame.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Not next year, hopefully. Maybe the year after.
I love it. I love it. I love getting new tips on
I
Yep. Did
races.
you have a
yeah.
marathon?
Well, no, I was gonna ask, how do you choose your
Yeah,
next marathon?
good
Because you
call.
guys have like fun ones.
Well, so
Do you have a list?
we kind of so we did the 50 states, right? And then when we completed the 50
It was a
states,
very curated list, by
this
the
one
way.
over here is like, well, we've ran 63 marathons. We can't end with 63. That's weird.
Yeah.
I think we should do 100.
Wait, but do you know how many we have now? 6, 7, 6,
Oh.
7.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
You guys are
So
so hip and so
So
cool.
sorry. So sorry. Yeah.
yeah, we completed that in 2023, and then she says 100 marathons, and we
Because like, what's the next goal? Because you're done with like the 50 states, and we have the world majors, so that's the goal too.
honestly, like we did have marathons planned for 2024, but my daughter who also runs them, her daughter who also runs them, we were going to run some together, and there were some injuries. Laura
I broke
had,
my foot or my ankle.
yeah, Maggie had injuries. Maddie had some things going on. So we kind of took 2024 off
The whole year.
entirely.
Like the whole year.
And
Wow.
it kind of gave
It's
you
weird.
a moment to like, because we had been at such a brutal pace. Like literally, we were at the halfway point of the states in 2020. We were at that. We ran our 26th state in 2020,
And we finished it in 2023.
and we finished in 2023.
So we ran 25
Wow.
marathons in 3
Yeah.
years. I'm doing running
Wow.
math.
That's insane.
We ran
It
16
was
marathons
insane.
in a year.
But again, never
That's
full time.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like our husbands are like,
Can you be home?
Can you be home?
Please?
But then you just don't it's perpetual. Like you just don't train anymore.
Yeah,
Like you
it was
just,
the
That's the beauty of it.
That was
yeah,
it.
you never need to train. It was like the best these last 6 weeks, I was like, I'm just marathon ready.
I know
Exactly.
that's how
That's the
so
point.
so our since we this fall schedule so because we didn't run marathons last year, we hopped on the crazy train. So we started with
Right.
Madoc. So that was our first marathon.
Yes, but we trained.
We
did the
trained.
18
Yep.
we
Yep.
did
And
18
which
weeks.
sucks starting from kind of scratch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that started. And so between that one and then Rehoboth next week, that'll be 92 days. And is it 6 marathons in 92 days or
Yeah,
seven?
which
Six,
is stupid.
Wow.
6 marathons in 92 days.
Stupid.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
No, it's just,
Stupid.
yeah, it was
Psychotic.
stupid. Yeah, because like we're
Psychotic's the
both kind of
word.
like we're getting the text the night before, like, sigh, I have to run tomorrow.
Well, so my daughter, our daughters ran Medoc with us. My
Nice.
daughter also was signed up for Marine Corps. So was Maddie, right? Marine Corps, and then Maggie was signed up for Philly. Maggie's like, oh my gosh, when I complete Philly, I can qualify for Marathon Maniacs. And then Maddie's like, well, shit. I can't make Marine Corps anymore. So she couldn't, she had to defer, just didn't go to that one. And then she's like, I need two more. So then she on her own signs up for Atlantic City, which is the weekend before Marine Corps,
Yep.
and Ocean City, Maryland, which is the weekend after Marine
So we
Corps.
did 3 marathons in 13 days
Because we don't let
because we don't
anybody
let
run.
anybody run marathons by themselves. Because we were like, so it's like one of those feelings where you come across the finish line and you're like, hey, you want to do this next week again?
I had not felt the wall in years in Ocean City, Maryland at mile 19.
That was the third one in
I'm like,
3 weeks. Yeah.
and of our friendship, I'm the vibe. Hey, let's go. Whoop, whoop. We're doing good. We got this. Let's go. I was like, fuck this. This sucks. I'm done. Why did we do this? We do not have to do this. We're not doing this for 50 states anymore. We have no time frame.
But I was like,
Why?
we're on the second round of them now. We're almost 20% done with the second.
Yeah, we're flirting with the second round. So it's good about the Cape Cod Marathon because we lucked into VIP bibs at the time through John Hancock. We knew
Yeah.
somebody that worked there
for
that we
Boston.
got
Yeah.
bibs through John Hancock.
That's great.
So chances of us running Boston again is very unlikely. So that's a nice tip.
That is a
for
really
the
nice
state
tip.
of
And it's a
Massachusetts.
beautiful
Yeah.
area, and
It's a
especially that time of
beautiful
year.
area.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a great one. All right, so ladies, if you could leave our listeners with one message about the running community, what would it be?
Find one. Like
Yeah.
just, yeah. I would say take the leap and go to a meetup. It's really hard.
So how would one find a meetup? Like how would like somebody's listening right now and they're like, how do I find a running club? I mean, if you live in Connecticut, like, hey,
come find
there's
us.
an opportunity,
H2O.
right? But how would one find one?
It's a good question. And I actually ask people all the time, how did you find us? And some people just Google, Instagram, like utilizing the social media is really going to be key. But I think it's, if you're willing to put yourself out there, you're willing to take the time to look up one of these communities, take the time to actually go. And I think very similar to any situation, you might go and it might not be the right fit, but don't let that be the deterrent for you not trying something else. Because the reason why there are so many run clubs is because they're started from people not finding what they're looking for elsewhere. And so go out, find a group that works for you because they are out there. And if they're not, create one. Like that is okay too. I feel like that would be my biggest piece of advice, is to find somebody else to do it with, because even though we all have our solo runs that we have to do for our own mental health, it's always better together, and having the community to bounce ideas off of or ask questions, or to even just say, hey, that run sucked. Like, can we go grab something to eat or drink afterwards? Like that will speak volumes. That for me is like, find the community and don't give up finding the community, or create one.
Yeah, and try to go more than once.
Yeah.
Talk
to people. Yeah. Talk to people.
Let's see, for the running community, I would say have fun with it. it's not that serious. It's really not. And I think that's why we keep coming back to each other with the running community and everything. We just have fun every single day because we get to train with each other every single day. So just at the heart of it, what's your why? Have fun with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, if Ben Franklin can have fun, you can have fun.
Yeah.
And Emma was impressed to go and see that you actually, like, the bald wig, you kept that on like the entire
very
time.
surprised myself.
It was a little sketch. It was a little sketch at points, but I was really impressed that stayed on there because, man, that thing had to be hot.
I know. I didn't even break out from that, so
that's crazy.
And before we depart, I have to share. So I have an absolute love of costumes. Like, it's my jam. When
it's an illness,
like,
really.
It's
should see her
sickness.
Costumes.
So during COVID, just to kind of bring my team spirits up, because, like, we were working on video all the time and stuff. And just one day I got online and my husband took a picture of me and I posted it to, like, our team, page. And people were like, oh my God, just the energy. So I'm like, well, shit, I got a lot of these. So next thing you know, every day, it was another costume. And then it was like, I upped the ante. 72 straight business days, I went and posted videos of me in various costumes. I was like the Big Lebowski.
Love.
I entered it. I finished it as Khaleesi. I was like the queen, of Game of Thrones.
Amazing.
But yeah. So when I saw y'all's costumes, I was like, oh, those are my peeps. I was a little jealous.
May I propose we run a marathon in costumes?
I don't think that you would want to run with us because we are literally hours behind you.
No!
Hours. We look at the course limit. What was Philly? 6 hours?
I don't know. I just know that
Seven. No,
I just
Philly's
know that Rehoboth at the 7-hour limit right now.
Like, we will finish sometime before 7. Seriously.
Well, who cares? Who cares about pace and time? Like, we're all out there to have a good time. I don't care if I'm a 3-hour finisher or a 7-hour finisher. That doesn't matter.
If you guys really want to, I would definitely be down.
We'd be game for that.
I'd be
game
down
for that.
Yes.
I love it.
When's grandma's again? No.
I know. We loved grandma's. Duluth is freaking awesome.
I know. Oh, there's a really good breakfast place. I'm going to text you about.
We need to send you info. Yes.
It's a delicious.
Please do.
Yes, we are breakfast junkies.
It was delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Anyway,
okay.
Is there anything else? I'm sorry, we digress. I was lost in my head in Duluth. Anyway, is there anything else that you guys want to leave to our Mile 20 people out there?
No, just thank you so much for having us because it's so exciting to talk to other women who are just as excited to talk about all things, both serious and fun running. I think it's really important because, to Emma's point, you get to see that it's not so serious. You can actually have fun doing this because we're not getting paid to win the race. So we might as well, laugh and reminisce and dress up and do all of the things and take a drink at mile 20. So I think that this is a good culmination of all the things that all the four of us definitely love most about running. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Emma and Kayla, we want to thank you guys so much for joining us today. Your stories, your energy, just your costumes, everything. It's exactly what Mile 20 is all about. And we appreciate you guys being so welcoming and wonderful representatives out in the running community. I just think that that's just so important. And it's what congeals us all together. To our listeners, if you loved what you heard, you can follow Emma and Kayla. Check out H2Go Life Running Club and at Be Well by Emma on Instagram. And Kayla, I forget your last name, or do you have a public Instagram?
I do. Yeah, it's Kay's Works. Yeah.
Kay's Works. Okay. And maybe consider wearing a historical wig at your next marathon. We fully support that for our listeners out there. Thank you.
Thank you both
Thank you so much.
You both rock.
Yes.
Lori, that was an absolutely fantastic.
They are
I
so
could talk
sweet.
to them for hours.
Yes.
I absolutely love them. Emma, Kayla,
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you so much for lifting my spirits. I think Kayla inspired me to make a goal for myself in 2026 to go and run a mile every day. I'm gonna try it.
Maybe I'll join you.
You gonna join me?
Maybe.
Kayla, you just inspired some old ladies to get our asses out there on good days and bad days. Well,
even in the cold rain.
In the cold rain. We can do it. We can do it.
Okay.
We can do
All
it.
right. I have faith. I have faith.
Kayla inspired me, man. I'm like, I'm feeling kind of up. And then Emma inspired me. Like, I feel like I gotta up my game on my Instagram, man.
Yeah.
Like, my Instagram looks like wah wah.
My Instagram looks like I'm 52.
Mine looks like I'm 54. So
Yeah.
that's okay. I got inspired. I'm actually gonna look into taking classes on how to go and do like editing for my stuff. So that was
with me.
That was going through my head, you know, because I was like, man, her freaking social site is freaking awesome. See, look at me talking about a social site. I sound like an old lady. Anyway, it's just really great to see young energy in the running community, and we're just going to keep surrounding ourselves by these young people because they keep us young at heart. So, folks, thank you again for joining us. Hopefully, you enjoyed the interview, and now go make mile 20 your bitch this week.
Peace out.